Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Andrew and welcome back to another Clip Studio Paint tutorial video. So for this tutorial video, I want to show you guys how you can move a 3D model of a person from Daz Studio into Clip Studio Paint. So I am not too familiar with Daz Studio as I rarely use it, if ever. So I looked at another YouTuber's tutorial video on how to do this. But there was some things that I didn't like, and also he used a Windows machine, and the layout of Daz Studio and some of the other software is a little bit different on a Macintosh version of the software. So if you're using a Windows, I would suggest go look at his video. The link is in the description. But if you're using a Macintosh computer, you can look at my video. So one of the reasons I did this is because I wasn't too satisfied with the Clip Studio Paint models, especially the face. It was very hard for me to distinguish where the eye was. So I was looking at other softwares and I found this tutorial video where this guy used Daz Studio. So I will leave a link in the description of where you can download Daz. It's completely free. All you got to do is make an account and you can download it for free. So here's Daz Studio. When you open it up, I believe it should look like this by default. So just come here to your Content Library tab, and then on here it says Daz Studio Format. Click on My Daz 3D Library. Click on People, and here are your 3D models. I like Genesis 2. You can explore the other Genesis models, but for me, Genesis 2 looks the best, so I'm going to use that one. So I'm just going to click and drag onto the 3D space here. And so it should look like this. I don't usually like to look at the textures. For me, it doesn't matter, but so I just click here, this little sphere, and go to smooth shade. Okay. And then what I like to do is if you have this arrow selected, click the head and then this square here, that'll zoom you in real quick. If you notice, the model has these eyelashes, and these eyelashes will become a problem when you import them into Clip Studio Paint. So I want to remove these eyelashes. Unfortunately, there's not a simple way that I've found. Again, I'm not too familiar with Daz Studio. So what I like to do is I like to zoom in on one of the eyelashes here. I'm just using my scroll wheel to zoom in, and then if you come here to this cross, if you click the left mouse button and hold it down, you can pan and then scroll a little bit more in and then pan it to the side. So there is the eyelash. The next thing I like to do is go to Tool and go to Geometry Editor, and you'll see this little red circle, and now you start selecting the surface of the eyelash. Make sure you do not select any other surface of the 3D model, because once you delete it, I have no idea how to bring it back. And Control or undo does not work. If you do select another part of the model that you didn't want to delete, then what you have to do is delete the whole model and re-upload it. So once you've selected the whole area of the eyelash, you right click, you hit Geometry Editing, and delete selected polygons. Hit yes, and then you can see there's a little bit more of the eyelash. Apparently it was 2 layers. So basically you'll do the same thing. Again, do not select any part of the 3D model that you do not want to delete. For instance, if my mouse were to accidentally come up here and select part of his head, I'd have to start over by selecting again the area. I'm just holding down the mouse button. And if you want, you can go slow, take it piece by piece. It really helps if you zoom in tight to what you want to delete. Again, right click, and look for geometry editing, delete selected polygons, hit yes, and that will get rid of the eyelashes. Alright, so this is what it looks like without the eyelashes. You can see I've deleted all the eyelashes. So when we transfer this into Clip Studio Paint, it's not going to look weird. At the end of the video, I'll show you what it looks like with the eyelashes, and you'll see that it looks pretty weird. So that's what it looks like with texture. Again, I'm not too concerned with texture, so click this little arrow and then click outside, and here we go. So now once we have that, I like superheroes. So obviously superheroes are very muscular. So what I like to do next is click the character, and you should see this pop-up window here. Make sure it's selected on actor on the right hand side here, and this first little slider bar, it's bodybuilder, so I pump that up all the way up, but that's a little bit too big for me. So what I like to do is come here to bodybuilder size, and I like to go halfway. Again, this is totally up to you, however you want your 3D models to look like. And you can see now that this 3D model has a lot more detail than the ones provided by Clip Studio Paint. The next thing we're going to do is come here to File, and we're going to export it. And I'm just going to put it on the desktop. I'm going to make sure you are selected in the OBJ. I'm just going to call it Superhero 001. And here we're going to select Maya, but we're going to change the scale factor to 1%. And then remove this check mark here where it says Write Groups. Unselect that, and then here where it says Maps, select Collect, because we want to select the texture surface files, and then hit Accept. And so now it should be saved on your desktop. And so now we come here to Blender. So Blender, again, is a free software. I'll leave a link in the description where you can download that. All you gotta do is create an account, and then you can use Blender. This is how Blender opens up by default. If you hit X on the keyboard, this little delete thing comes out. Select the delete to remove the box. Now come here to File, and then go to Import, and we're going to import that OBJ file. So look for Wavefront OBJ. Go to your desktop and look for your file, your OBJ file. There's the MTL, which is the material file. Don't select that one. Select the OBJ. And then just up on the right hand corner here, it says Import Object. So just import the object. And when you see it in Blender, you'll see that it is all grayed out like this. Now there's the controls for Blender on a Mac are weird. I forgot how I created this. You're gonna have to YouTube it on YouTube. How to control Blender on a Mac. It's weird, but you can also see that it's grayed out. But rest assured, the texture file is there. So anyways, once it's there, that's fine. And then we're going to come here to File, Export, and this time we're going to export it as an FBX. I'm going to put it on the desktop again. On the bottom hand side where it says Export FBX, we want to come over here to where it says Path Mode. Go to Copy, and then this little icon next to it, click that, and then we're going to give it a name. Again, Superhero 001. And on the right hand side where it says Export FBX, we're going to export it. and it's going to export onto the desktop. So should be on the desktop. Next thing we're going to do is come to this website here called Miximo. This is a free website. Just create an account and you can use it for free. Come here to animations, and what we're going to do is upload the character. So we're going to find our character. Remember, it's the FBX. So here we see superhero FBX. We're on the desktop. Open. So it's going to take its time to upload it. Okay, once Maximo finishes uploading your character, you should see something like this. You can see the character has the skin texture. If your character looks gray, then you did something wrong. You need texture on your character. Otherwise, when you put it in Clip Studio Paint, you won't see too much of the detail. And that's what you want to see. It'll just look like a gray outline. So make sure your character has its textures on it. So next, hit next. And now we're going to put these little dots where it says chin. So we're going to put this on the chin. On the right hand side, you should see a zoomed in picture so that you can get really close. And if you're not sure, you can always move it again. Maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, that'll. And then the wrist. Again, use that zoomed in picture on the right to get as close as possible. Because this will map the bones to your 3D character. And the groin. And then once you put those spots where they should be, hit next. And it'll start to auto rig. Alright, once it finishes the auto rig, it should look like this. And we're just going to click next. And we're going to click next again. Now we can, you can see your 3D model here. And we're just going to click download. Yes, FBX file, that's correct, and T-pose. And so just click download. So now it should be in your downloads folder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open up Clip Studio Modeler. If you don't have this icon on your desktop, you can, I know that you should have Clip Studio Paint. So just open up Clip Studio Paint. Okay, once you have Clip Studio Paint open, right here under the select, you should see this little square and it says Open Clip Studio. So let's open up Clip Studio. So once Clip Studio opens, you'll see on the left hand side, you'll see Paint and you'll see Modeler. So that's what we want. We're going to click Modeler. And this pop-up window should appear. Make sure you're on this button here where it says 3D character, not objects. 3D objects, no. 3D characters, yes. So create 3D character. And so now here on the right hand side where it says character configuration, you want to click this little button here that says body, and then come down here below where it says add from file, and then we're going to look for our FBX file that was created from the Maximo website, which again should be in your downloads folder, and it should be called whatever you called it. I'm going to open that, and so there's our character here. Now these controls here on the left are for your camera. So this last button here where it says camera distance will get you close in, and then the camera position you can pan up. So my suggestion is get something close, and then here on the right hand side where this blue square that says no image, just click that, and then so this image will become the icon for your character. Okay, and so now we'll, and of course you can change the image by changing the camera view and then click the button. So now we're going to come here to use as a complete character. Make sure that's checked. And then here at the very bottom you should see a bone. Click the bone. Click yes or OK. And now we're going to map our model's bones to the Clip Studio Paint bones. And as you can see, the bones for the Maximo website are similar to those of Clip Studio Paint, with the exception of the neck. For some reason, the neck doesn't line or doesn't map. But anyways, so it's highlighting this pink, so it wants you to click on the pink one on your model, and then it says the left or the right arm, so click the right arm, left arm, and so on. Once all that is selected, click next, and you can see it kind of lines up, and you can click these little buttons here to see how close it is. So the green is the Clip Studio Paint bones, and the blue is your model's bones. So kind of not, it's not too close on this position, but you know, it's close enough. So I'm going to hit complete, and so that completes the mapping of the bones. Now we're going to come back here on the left hand side again and sketch the button next to the body. Click that, and again we're going to move the camera closer and up here, and we're going to click that image again, so, and then give our character a name, Superhero 001, so that will be the icon. So now we'll come up here to File. We're going to register as a new material. That's the name, and we're going to go to 3D, and I'm going to save it as a body type. So this will be, you can, if this is going to be a specific character and you give it your character's name, you can put it in characters, but because this is just a generic superhero body for me, I'm just going to put it in body types. Click OK. And now if I come here to my 3D models, let's see, you can see it here, Superhero 001. So just like you do with the Clip Studio Paint 3D models, you just drag and drop. And I'm going to remove that. So let me zoom out a little bit. And so you can move the camera and everything. Now you can see that the the skin is not as detailed as it was in Daz Studio. That's just a better 3D software. And also you can see the eyes are kind of weird because when we deleted the eyelashes. Okay, so, but I will show you what a 3D model with the eyelash looks like, and it's a lot weirder. It's kind of distracting. But anyways, also one thing, when you import the 3D model, for some reason the light source is removed. So you can click on the light source, and you can see a whole lot more detail. And so, yeah, you can see a lot more detail, better than you can see on the Clip Studio Paint 3D models. In fact, I'll put one in from Clip Studio. So here's what Clip Studio's model looks like. And we'll even do the animate one. So that's what all three studio models look like next to each other. Now, of course, I haven't manipulated this to be, well, let's just do that. Let's put some more muscle on him. Body shape. So let's put, as you put more muscle, he gets fatter. So let's get him skinnier. So it all depends on what you like. For me, this looks a little bit better, but the one thing I don't like about the Daz 3D is that the mapping of the bones is not exactly, if you can click the head and you can move the head, right? But you cannot click the neck. Whereas in Clip Studios, you see there's the neck. You can click the neck and you can click the head. So that's one thing that you can't do in the Daz 3D model. The only way is if you rotate the camera, you'll notice that this blue sphere here is way out. That's because this is actually the position that his head is looking. So this is the only way you can manipulate the neck, I think. Although it looks like it's manipulating his head more than his neck. But in either case, that's how you would manipulate where he's looking. Whereas in the Clip Studio, you kind of have to select the neck, twist the neck, and also the head, tilt the head, and move the head up or whatever. So I don't know if it's better or worse, but it is what it is. So that's how you can import a Daz 3D model of a person into Clip Studio Paint. Now again, if you're more familiar with Daz Studio, where you can create actual characters with clothes and stuff, you'll just do the same process and just import it into Clip Studio Paint. So if you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I make Clip Studio Paint tutorial videos like this one. And yeah, so let me show you what it looks like when you do not remove the eyelashes. Yeah, some reason it leaves these, it doesn't make them opaque. You can actually see the whole surface of the eyelashes. So that's why I like to delete those eyelashes from the models. But everything else, you know, if that doesn't bother you, then you can skip that step. But for me, it bothered me because it was just a distraction there. So I found a way to delete them. You can also go from a straight Daz Studio 3D model and just put it straight into Clip Studio Paint. You don't have to mess with Blender or the Maximo website. The thing about that is that in Daz Studio, the bones don't exactly line up with Clip Studio's bones. So that's why when we did it before, we exported it out as an object because objects don't have bones. And when we put it into Blender, we exported it out as FBX, which allowed for bones. And then we put it into Maximo because Maximo's bones match up closer to Clip Studio Paint. So let me show you what it looks like when you go straight from Daz Studio into Clip Studio Paint. So you'll have your 3D model here, and you'll go to File, Export, And instead of it exporting as an object, what you want to do is export as an FBX. Again, FBX has the bones already, so I'm just going to call it test 001. And I'm going to hit save. I'm saving it to the desktop. And I'm not even going to mess with any of these features. I'm just going to hit accept. And then go to modeler. And let's do a new 3D character. So you'll follow the same steps as I showed you before. And then I'm just going to throw this in here. And let me make this a little bit smaller. So here's the thing about the Daz Studio bones. It does give you the neck. So now you can manipulate the neck and chest and head at the same time. But the really cool part about, well, I don't know why it's not doing it now. It might have been when I clicked something in the modeler. I must have, when I started clicking around in the head. But one of the things it does give you is the mouth. You can now manipulate the mouth open or closed, which is kind of weird. But there's no limit, so you can make some really goofy stuff. But sometimes it's really cool, like when you want to draw a character's mouth open, like he's screaming or something. Sometimes it can become really difficult with the Clip Studio Paint models because you kind of have to guess at it. But one thing that is not really good is the hands. Coming straight from Daz Studio, the hands are really weird. See, like you can move these two fingers, and then these two fingers are separate. Yeah, it's weird, and also you can't, because of the hands is separated into halves like that. You can't manipulate the whole hand with this tool on the side here. It seems to only map to the thumb. So what you would have to do is control each finger individually, which sucks. So again, you can go straight from Daz into Clip Studio, but the mapping of the bones don't line up. The only benefit you get is the mouth that can open. So yeah, again, I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I make Clip Studio Paint tutorial videos like this one. And if you got any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment. If I can't answer it in the comment section, I'll try to make a video of it so that everybody can learn. And then, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.